Hello Year 7s. Today I'm going to talk you through the translation for the story Actores, which is on page 58 in the textbook. So stage 5 is all about nominative plurals. So we've already come across the singular forms for each of the three declensions, and now we're meeting the plural just for the nominative to start off with. So you will have noticed at the start of stage 5 there were some different word endings. So we had canis became canes, servus became servi, puella became puellae. So as you tackle this story, Actores, you've really got to be thinking about whether a noun is singular, just referring to one, or whether it's plural, referring to more than one. So I'm just going to point out some of the singulars and plurals now. So in the first line here, turba, it is a singular noun. It belongs to the first declension. You already know this because you've met first declension nouns ending in A, like puella, anquila, metella, cana, culina, etc. Now, when they turn into the plural, we add an E. So turba will become turbai if we wanted to talk about lots of crowds. Feminae here. You can see at the bottom where it's glossed for you. Femina is referring to the singular, a woman, a lady. Feminae is the plural. Okay, so the singular A has become AE. Same with puella. It's become puellae, so it's more than one girl. It will help you to remember the endings if you think about equivalents in English. So it's not always a straightforward case of adding an S to form a plural in English. For example, formula becomes formulae. Antenna becomes antennae. Lava becomes larvae, etc. Now, for the second declension, you've come across nouns ending in US, like servus, dominus, caecilius, cibus, etc. In the plural, the US ending changes to an I. Again, think of equivalents in English. So one fungus, two fungi. Cactus becomes cacti, etc. For the third declension, well, the nominative can look like anything really. We've seen mercator, leo, senex, grumio, etc. In the plural, the nominative will have an ES on the end. So here you can see senes, mercatores, actores there. This is quite similar to plurals in English. For example, box becomes boxes, fox becomes foxes, bus becomes buses, etc. So be on your guard for plural endings and don't translate them as singulars. This is a mistake that we often find right up to the way to GCSE and A-level. People are always missing off these plural endings. So don't let that be one of your faults. Okay, let me take you through the translation then for the story Actores. Start at the beginning. So obviously the title of the story means actors. Looks like the English word, doesn't it? We have magna turba est in urbe. So this is line 1. Magna means a big, and turba, crowd. A big crowd is in the city. Now you can see that these two words are connected. Turba and urbe, they both got the herb in them. And that's because you often find crowds in the city because cities tend to be more densely populated. So you often get an influx of people there. So we've got a big crowd is in the city. Feminae et puellae sunt in urbe. These are our plural nouns. Ladies or women and girls are in the city. Senes quoque et juvenes sunt in turba. Old men also and young men are in the city. Now we might put that into a better word order and say sunt, start with this word. There are also old men and young men in the city. Think of English derivatives. So we can think of the word senile, which comes from senex, when you go a bit batty in your old age. Juvenile is the word that we get from juvenes, denoting the youth, adolescents, young people. Servi non laborant hodie. Well, that's a cause for celebration. The slaves are not working today, so they get a day off. Something special is happening in town. Senes hodie non dormiunt. Today, hodie, the old men, again it's a plural, isn't it? Senes from senex. The old men are not sleeping. Well, there must be something very interesting going on if they're not sleeping today. Mercatores hodie non sunt occupati, Pompeiani sunt otiosi. The merchants non sunt are not busy, they're not occupied today. The Pompeians are on holiday, otiosi, they are at rest, they are idle. At special times of the year, festivals and so forth, the Pompeians and the Romans in general, they would shut down all public business. So shops would be closed, market traders wouldn't be around, the law courts would be closed, and everyone would be on holiday. There'd be effectively no work going on. And the Romans and the Greeks used to really love festival times because they didn't have weekends like we do. So these times would really be their opportunity to take a break from work, to relax and spend time with their family and friends and have a good time. So it's a public bank holiday for them. Urbs tamen non est quieta. The city, however, is not quiet. Magnus clamor est in urbe. A big racket, a big uproar or clamour, noise is in the city. A loud racket is in the city. So even though there's no work going on, there's still lots of commotion. The city is buzzing with excitement. Everyone is rushing about and shouting for joy. They're all really excited about something. Pompeiani ad theatrum contendent. This is the reason why. The Pompeians are hurrying, contendent. It suggests quick movement, lively movement. They are hastening. They are hurrying to the theatre. Magnus clamor est in urbe. A big uproar is in the city. Agricolae urbem intrant. The farmers are entering the city. Notice again, this is a plural ending. Agricolae, first declension. Nautai, another first declension plural. The sailors are seeking the city. Petent, they're making for. They're heading for the city. Pastores de monte veniunt et ad urbem contendent. Now remember, when you've got a long sentence like this, and you can see the word et in the middle, that's a conjunction. It's a joining word, a connecting word. So it's better to tackle the words before the et, then try and work out the words after the et. So we've got pastores veniunt de monte. First word, last word, bit in the middle. The shepherds are coming from the mountain, and they are hurrying to the city. Turba per portam ruit. The crowd rushes through the gate. There's that word turba again, associated with the urbs, the city. Portam is a gate. Those are the city gates that they're coming through. They're charging through in their haste to get to the theatre. Nuntius in foro clamat. So Nuntius is a messenger or an announcer. He shouts in the forum. Now we've got speech marks, so it's his direct speeches quoted here. Actores sunt in urbe. The actors are in the city. Actores sunt in teatro. The actors are in the theatre. Priscus fabulam dat. Now priscus has got a capital letter, so that means it's a proper noun. It's the person, place or thing. So we don't need to translate it. It just means priscus is putting on a play. That phrase was given to you in the vocab by the side of the story. Priscus is putting on an optimam fabulam, an excellent play. So it's no ordinary play. It's not your bog standard play. It's something that's going to be really special, really excellent. Actores sunt actius et sorex. Again, we've got capital letters here. Actius et sorex. Those are names of people. We don't need to translate their names. So it just means the actors are Actius, it's an appropriate name for an actor, and Sorex. So the modern day equivalent would be, you know, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio are coming to Liverpool, so everyone should flock to the theatre to go and see them. Caecilius et Metella e villa discedunt. Caecilius and Metella, go to your verb, leave from the villa, or you could just say they leave the villa or depart from the villa. Argentarius et uxor ad theatrum ambulant. The banker and his wife walk to the theatre. Now, they don't seem to be in any great hurry, and that's because they probably sent their slaves ahead, and the slaves are going to reserve seats for them, the best seats that they can lay their hands on. So there's no need for Caecilius and Metella to hurry with the rest of the crowd. Clemens et Melissa ad theatrum contendent. So there we go, the slaves are hurrying to reserve places for their master and mistress. Clemens and Melissa are hurrying to the theatre. Said Grumio in villa manet. But Grumio remains in the house. Why? So why is everyone else hurrying to the theatre with lots of energy and excitement and anticipation, but Grumio doesn't seem involved in this hysteria at all? He's just remaining in the house. Any ideas why? Answers on a postcard if you've got any theories. This is going to be continued later on in the next story.